Hi, this is Mr. JTB coming at you today to talk to you about a subject on the topic of entrance into the military, pre-Meps, and also the Meps process and a little bit after the Meps process. I've always wanted to do a video like this. I saw a video from Jay Dwayne, and I figure I'd basically say almost the same thing that he said, maybe go a little further into detail about what he said, or I don't know. I'm going to try my best. Back in February of this year, I talked to a recruiter, and I was like, hey, I want to join the military. And he asked me what type of job I'd want to do. I told him. And he said, okay. I told him my situation, that I'm in college and whatnot, and there was a certain program I wanted to do. So he said, okay, and he looked it up, and the program still existed, whatever. So we did the paperwork. A lot of fucking paperwork. You better know your social by heart because you're going to be naming it all over the place. And then there's a lot of questions about your medical history, parking tickets, regular tickets, speeding tickets, whatever. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. The medical ones were pretty ridiculous for me because it was just like, why are you asking me these questions? Like, I don't know. It's just something that I definitely did not have. It's just like, no, no, no. Or yes, no, whatever. Do you wear glasses? Some stuff like that. But, yeah, after you do that process, then they schedule you for a trip to Meps. I took the ASVAB before. I took it, I didn't take it up at Boston because that's where I went for Meps. I took it at a testing station. So for the people that do take the ASVAB test at Meps, I'm pretty sure you go up to Meps, take the test, and I don't know what else you do because I did not do that. But I know that you stay at a hotel and then the next day you go into Meps again. For me, I took the ASVAB before. I knew what I scored, which if you get over a 50, it's pretty good, a good chance that you can get the job that you want if it's open. But normally they sit you down before you go to Meps, and they look at a computer and they see a list of jobs that are open, depending on if you're active or reserve. At this time, there happened to be more jobs for a reserve for me, so I kind of had more options to pick from. Yeah, so then I went to Meps that night and slept at a hotel. The government pays for the hotel. It was pretty nice. Food was good. You have to be back in your room by a certain time. Wake up time was at 4 a.m. And from there, you ate breakfast and then took the bus to go up to Meps, which was like right up the street. You get to Meps, and it's a lot of fucking waiting, tests. There's physicals. You pick a job. For me, in my case, you get sworn in, sign a lot of shit as you're going along. You get in there, you sign shit. Fingerprint, get in there, sign shit, more shit, and it was, they did the drug test, they did the blood test. If you're sensitive to blood, you might want to let someone know because I had a few people in my line that actually passed out because they were just so, I don't know if they were nervous about entering the military or if they just got weak stomached about blood. Don't know why you join the military if you're weak stomach about blood, but yeah, just be careful for that because, I mean, they do kind of, like, take it seriously. And then, they do a physical where it's like a normal physical, you know, for guys. They check you, they just check your body. They have you bend over and stuff. They fucking check your balls and stuff. And then they have you do, like, duck walks and see if you can touch your toes. And it's all simple shit that you should be able to do if you're joining the military. If you can't do the certain stuff that he tells you to do, you definitely should not be in the military. Past that, and then you go into the lobby where they wait for you to call your name. And in my case, I didn't pick my job yet, so I went to a counselor, told him what job I wanted to get, and then I looked, and basically the process is that they have a bunch of dates, basically the potential date that you're going to leave, and as you go down the list, there's certain jobs. So, like, say there's, like, 36 Bravo or something like that, 11X, which is infantry, Then there's a bunch of jobs that they list. Like there's like ship dates. There's just like 10 to 12 jobs, the ship date or whatever. You go through the jobs. You get to see what benefits you're gonna get if you get a bonus or something like that. You find out right there, and then from there you find out what day you're leaving, and under the certain job they find out where you're going. So if you're doing like infantry, you're obviously gonna go to Fort Benning. I'm going to Fort Jackson, and I'm a transportation MOS right now. So I found my job, picked it, whatever, signed more shit, and stuff like that. And then after that, I think I swore in, and that was it for my day. I was out of there by 2, so 4 a.m. to like 2 p.m., and I was one of the first ones out, so if you're going up to Meps, expect a long fucking day, because you were going to be there forever. Well, that's what it feels like, at least. It's not really that bad, though. During the process, they look at you, whatever your recruiter sent to the doctor or to the people, and they keep asking you shit like, you better not be lying, shit like that. And they ask you that like 6 times, so, tell the truth, whatever. Do what you gotta do, get in, get out, whatever. After that Meps process, now you know what day you're leaving and all that stuff. You're gonna get a future soldier orientation from your recruiter, and basically what he's gonna do is he's gonna sit there and he's gonna tell you all these rules. Basically, there's rules about how recruiters are supposed to be having relationships with other recruiters. I don't know if it's the same way in the military. I'm pretty sure it is, but don't quote me on that. Also, they tell you future soldier training dates where you're going to do physical training or you do mental training where you learn stuff about the Army and everything. It's required for you to do that. Also, make sure you keep following up with your recruiter. Do what you got to do. And then, I follow up with my recruiter once a week. I go to the Saturday training when I can. If I can't, I tell them ahead of time, hey, I can't go. When I follow up with them, I'm like, hey, I can't go to training this Saturday, but I'll be there next Saturday. In my case, I'm leaving to Florida to go see my dad, so when I come back up, I'll definitely be by to go to some more training. But a lot of PT on your own. Don't rely on Saturday PT, because that's not going to get you anywhere, especially if you're not in the shape that you're in. I'm the type of person that's been in an athletic background all my life. I can do push-ups and sit-ups, no problem. I actually almost have the perfect PT score right now in push-ups and sit-ups, but I used to be a sprinter also, and that 2-mile run is fucking killing me. I'm trying to meet the 2-mile run before I leave for boot camp. Trying to get in the best shape that I can. No job is ever promised to you, so unless I don't know how it works if you do it with your recruiter before, but I'm saying, like, if you, like, enlist in the Army and you're like, okay, I want to be a cavalry scout or something like that, and, you go in there, there could be a good chance that you're going to get the job, but then there's other chances where you're not going to get the job that you want. So, you have to go in there with the mentality that it's like, okay, well, if I don't pick this job, I'm going to pick another job, because, if you want to be in the military that bad, then that's something that you got to do. I personally was happy with my decision for transportation. I actually wanted to do finance, but I went to my first drill since I'm an Army Reserve. I already know what my unit is. If you're active duty, I think you pick between 3 stations, and then normally you get your first choice, unless for some reason it's booked, then you get the other 2 choices, self-explanatory. An AIT or, what do they call it, OPSEC? I think it's called OPSEC when you join with other people. And when you join with AIT and boot camp is all in one. So like infantry basic training is in Fort Benning, Georgia. AIT is in Fort Benning, Georgia. Talked to a lot of people that were in infantry, and they said it's basically like boot camp for 13 weeks or 15 weeks or however long it is. It's like the same thing, drill sergeants yelling at you and shit like that. I heard AIT is much more different in other types of jobs. I've never been to AIT, so I can't give you my 2 cents on that. But yeah, I'll definitely be coming out with more videos after boot camp and after AIT if I enjoyed it. Tell you all about boot camp, answer any questions that you guys have about the process going into Meps, after Meps, before you leave, because I'm leaving next month. So I basically know almost, like, it's not like I'm at the hotel the night before and I know exactly what's going on, but I do know I'm leaving in August, which is like next month. So yeah, if you have any questions about that, and plus if I come out with a video after basic training and you have questions to ask me about basic training, because I'm probably not going to be able to cover everything that I learned in basic training in one video. That shit would be like a fucking novel. I know that I'm not even in boot camp yet. So yeah, thanks. Peace.